And we are live. What's good, y'all? It's your man DL Saint. How y'all feeling? I'm just doing a pop-up show. I saw something and it made me want to just jump on and just want to jump on to talk about it real quick. There's a YouTube channel out there. It's called Populitics. I've never heard of before. It's a young lady who talks about mostly pop culture stuff, what's going on in Hollywood, who's doing what, that type stuff. But she did a video or posted a video that was talking about the dating market and how Gen Z and millennials have checked out completely. The young men just don't even do it. Uh, I just wanted to jump on real quick and talk about that. I want to react to that real fast. It I ain't gonna lie to you, it blew my mind. It blew my mind. Before I do, first of all, thanks for rocking with me when I do these little pop-up shows. Appreciate y'all. Um, let's see. I'm wearing my Patrick Bet David hat, my Valuetainment cap. Melanie King is scheduled to be on Saucecast tonight. So Melanie King looks like she's going to be working with Valuetainment folks, and those are my two favorite platforms. So I'm happy for her, real happy for her, in fact. And just to see her working on a platform that I really enjoy and respect. So shout out to them. This is for them. Looking forward to seeing that today. And I want to say that comes on at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. But the thumbnail's out there, guys. Find it on your own. And definitely go show some support. We got Brother Doug in the house. What's good, fam? How you feeling, bro? Good to see you. So that's going on. I know there's a Valuetainment is really putting in work and in there, bringing on some of the top YouTubers in the game in all spaces, man. Finances, they talk, people who are out there, talking about the manosphere stuff. They got political stuff going on, MMA. I mean, you name it, that's over there on Valuetainment. So shout out to PBD, Adam, Nat, Vinny, the whole Valuetainment family over there. If I forgot you, I'm sorry. So, you know what I mean? Y'all are growing. I'm trying to remember. I'm old. Y'all know if I don't have my notes in front of me, I'm in trouble. But shout out to Valuetainment. Definitely get over there, get them a try on YouTube. Easy to find them. And they got some good stuff, man, especially when they're talking about the economy. I'm like glued to the TV when they're talking about the economy. So yeah, I wanted to get that out there, a little housekeeping. But let's get into this video. I don't know, man. I just think that it makes sense to me that women are now beginning to talk about this. I'm telling you, y'all know I'm out here in these trenches. I come out of the trenches. I venture into no man's land. I'm telling you, this market landscape, this dating landscape has changed to the point where, I mean, it's not recognizable at all. From the 80s, the 90s, the early 2000s, it's a brand new game. And it's difficult. And, we have, like the millennials and Gen Z, they're not known for persevering. They're not they're not known for being tough and pushing through it. In fact, they're the everyone gets the trophy generation, and they're not getting their trophy, so they're not even playing. They're like, what's the point? It's too hard for them. So it is what it is. And my man Jay Swan just hit me up. Me tell him I'm on live right now. I did a quick live. So excuse me, let me send this text real quick. Boom. So we're gonna watch this video, and I mean, I agree with a lot of this video. We're gonna react to this video. It's about 12 minutes, and then actually, probably take a look at some of the comments on there. I looked there at 4 or 5 comments, maybe a little more. It was all men, and yeah, almost every comment was like, "Yeah, we understand this is what it is." So let's check this out, guys. Yeah, here we go.
If you're a single girl out here in these streets and you're thinking, am I crazy? Or are these guys like not even wanting to date and hook up, let alone get married?
Am I the problem?
Are we why these men don't want to get married? Ugh. I have good news and bad news. The good news is you're not crazy. The bad news is it's worse than you thought. The very minuscule amount of kingpin level good men, the ones that are actually husband material, are almost certainly already married, about to be, or here's your very grim reality check, rotting away to near extinction.
There goes.
Yeah, you know, she she got a little bit dramatic there, but you see her point. There are a lot of women out here, you know, young girls. I'm assuming young ladies. Probably, you know what? It's probably not the young women. It's probably not the women from 18 to 24. It's probably not them. It's the women from 25 to about 35 are having these thoughts, especially the women between 25 and 29. It's probably them. Um, so yeah, that's probably who's asking these questions. And you know, again, because the women who are getting all the attention they want, the women who are at their peak, they're not worried about where all the good men have gone because they have their pick of the litter. So they're not tripping. Lady Navoa is in the house. What's good, love? Shout out to you. R.I.P. Jerry Springer. Yeah, Jerry Springer. Looks like Jerry Springer passed away, y'all. He's no longer with us. You know, you guys know him from the Jerry Springer show. I know him because I'm from Cincinnati. Jerry Springer was a former mayor of Cincinnati. He was on a political fast track to DC, and then he got caught up with a call girl. You know what I mean? A pro, and he received services and allegedly did not want to pay for said services. He wrote a check and then canceled the check. She was like, "Yo, give me my money, or I'm gonna have to go to I'm gonna go to the press." He didn't want to pay her, so she went to the press. The rest is history. He was like I said, a good, smart, savvy businessman, smart politician. He just made that one mistake, which led to, you know, him being famous for the whole talk show thing. Everyone knows about Jerry Springer, the talk show. So yeah, R.I.P. to Jerry Springer. Uh, Fun fact: Jerry Springer spoke at my high school graduation. So, and this is before, of course, he made it. This is before he became known for talk shows. This is when he was still at the peak of his political career in Cincinnati. Yeah, what a waste. I think Jerry Springer would have been a good elected official to have, especially representing Ohio, especially Southern Ohio. I think we lost a great opportunity there. So, R.I.P. Jerry Springer. Condolences to his family and to his many friends and fans and whatnot. So, and thanks for reminding me that, sis. But yeah, let's get back to the video.
Was our last meal.
Oh my God, I hate Alex Clark. She's so dramatic.
Am I?
Is it me? Am I the drama? I don't think I'm the drama. Maybe I am.
Turns out the large majority of men 18 to 30 years old are single by choice. You're not crazy after all. Don't believe me? A new Pew Research study found that 63% of men don't want to pursue any sort of relationship with women. That means serious or casual. They literally feel no motivation to leave their house, period. You know things are.
And it's not a feeling, my dear. And shout out to her. I think her name is Alex. Shout out to her for making this video. It's not a feeling. And she's going to cover this in a minute. Men are problem solvers. Men look at what's going on and they make a decision. They make a sound, rational decision. In most cases, it's like, it's not worth it. The juice is not worth the squeeze. Shout out to Rich Cooper. And add to that, social media, internet, and all this kind of stuff. They have an abundance of information and choices and groups of other guys, and you know, they just bounce ideas off each other. Yeah, that's what it is. It's just not worth it. They've come to that conclusion and they don't want to deal with it. And they're young. They have other things to do. They want to go ahead and build themselves up. Again, we've been talking about this for a few days. Men are not born with value. Women are. Women are born with their value. They must preserve it. Men aren't born with value. They must create it. So a lot of these guys are like, you know what? I'm just going to create my value. I'm going to focus on success. I'm going to focus on being the best version of myself, focus on excellence. And they know, and they're learning that if they do that, build themselves up, a byproduct of that success will be women. So that's what these guys are doing. And then meanwhile, women are like, well, where's my attention? I want this, I want that. Where's my man? Especially when they're getting closer to their 30s, they want to get married, stuff like that. It kind of fits into their life plan. These guys are like, nah, no thanks. At least that's my take on it. And my brother Jay Swans is in the house. Lady in the voice saying, they build the world. That's a big puzzle solver. They're alone. Shout out to our men. Thank you, men. Brother Jay Swans is like losers. You know, a lot of these millennials and Gen Xers, they don't want to fight for anything. They don't want to fight at all. You know what I mean? They don't want to do the work. They don't want to, if it's hard, they don't want to do anything. They just give me my trophy. Because I mean, they're soft. You know what I mean? They're soft. So let's continue with the video.
Or bad when guys think a booty call is too much work. The evidence points to some very specific problems. I've seen multiple conservative commentators speculate about what they think is the root of this shift. And no surprise, they're wrong. Let me tell you something about 99% of female commentators on the right who talk about dating, culture, and relationships. Hardly any of them have had significant real-world experience with dating, culture, and relationships. They think they're too highbrow for dating apps.
You're disgusting, and I hate you.
They marry the first or second guy they've made eye contact with, and their understanding on what it's actually like out here is, hate to say it, no I don't, derived from trad wife Twitter accounts secretly run by gay men trying to catfish straight ones. I know.
She went in on that one. But, you know, her point is well taken. When you look at the, you know, traditional conservatives, they call them tradcons, I guess. When you look at traditional conservatives, they look at the old way of doing things. A lot of these people were, quote unquote, raised right, which means they were raised to be a certain way, you know, to look for certain qualities in a man and to have certain qualities as a woman. The problem with that is in today's world, if you get tired of that, so like she said, oh, they married the first or second guy that they see. I don't see a problem with that. You get married, you want to build and all that good stuff. But what you're gonna hear, the overall theme in this video, and what you hear in the manosphere all the time is people are just looking at the family law system and they're seeing people get wrecked. They're hearing from the guys who've been wrecked. They see what's going on. Yes, I believe there's a sea shift coming within the family law court system, the family law system. I think there's going to be a change, but that change is going to take a long time to take effect. So until then, guys are like, no, I don't want to deal with it. For, you know, it costs too much money to date. If we get married, you got to pay for that wedding. You know, you're dealing with individuals who might change their mind and walk away. And if they walk away, they're not going to walk away empty-handed. These are sort of the themes that you've heard. You're going to hear that in this video as well. But oh man, you know, it's these traditional women who are out there. Most of them are married. But again, if they decide they want to get divorced, they just do it. The latest example, Steven Crowder, like big time conservative dude. I've never watched a lot of his content. I mean, I've seen like this much of his stuff. I don't agree with most of his views. I certainly don't agree with his political views. He's too far right for me. But this guy is a traditional conservative man. This dude is going through a divorce. It's been 2 years now. His wife wanted a divorce there in Texas, and it is devastating him. Fresh and Fit was talking about it last night on their early show. This man is completely devastated. He didn't see it coming, and it's a shame. You know, this guy's like a 1% guy. And he's dealing with something he never wanted to deal with. He's a guy like, look, the best way to raise children is to stay together, be in a family. He can't do it. With the way the system is set up now, you know, you can get married for anything. Irreconcilable differences. What's that? And they're going to get into the stats. Like Sister Alex here is going to get into the stats on divorce, who initiates divorce and what happens during this divorce, generally speaking. So, I mean, it is what it is. Brother Jay Swans, they're just afraid to hear no. He's talking about the Gen Zers and the millennials. Yeah, they don't want to hear no. They're afraid to get a little dirt on them. They're, you know what I mean? They're afraid to feel that sting again popped in the mouth. They're afraid of it. That's why they don't go walk up to women. They're afraid to hear no. Brother 90 is in the building. What's good? Welcome. Let's continue with the video.
know why men have lost all incentive to pursue any type of companionship with anyone with a heartbeat. And I think we should all be very perturbed about what this means for future generations. And no, the answer is a lot more layered than just porn is bad. Today, women are smarter. We're graduating college at higher rates than guys. And I know women don't like to admit it, but we are, by and large, making more money.
Okay, I'm sorry.
You know, and here's the part right here, and I'm not pushing back because she's female and she's talking about women. Women aren't smarter. I would argue in America here, we're all equally stupid. Every last one of us. Look at how we are living. Look at what society has done. Women are no smarter than men. Men are no smarter than women. I said, we're all equally stupid in this country. So believe that if you want to, ladies. Yes, ladies are women are graduating college at higher rates than their male counterparts. Absolutely facts. You can look that up yourself. And because of that, again, we talk about this all the time. If you have a college degree versus someone who does not have a college degree, the person with the degree is going to earn more money over their lifetime of work, over their career. Facts. She's not lying. And those numbers, like those, again, we've already pointed it out. We've seen the numbers, especially in the big cities, DC, New York, LA, Seattle, these Boston, like these big cities, women are out earning their male counterparts. And what are all the women saying? That they find most men financially unattractive. What does that mean? That means that if the guy's not making as much as she is or more, she doesn't even want to talk to him. That's before you get to the height. That's before you get to the 6'6" and all that kind of stuff. 6 feet, 6 figures, 6-pack. Right? Because if she's making $200,000 and you're making $100,000, you're not sexually viable for her. She's not going to look on you as a good mate because you're not making enough money. And I don't see anything wrong with that. I don't have a problem with hypergamy. I think hypergamy is a far superior dating strategy than what men use or have been using up until this point. Me and Jay Swans talk about that all the time. But it comes at a cost, ladies. Let's continue.
I'm not poor.
We spent half a century telling men that the future was female and that women allegedly didn't need to rely on men for anything.
We couldn't have credit cards, couldn't own property, couldn't vote, had no voice. Well, of course we'd partner up with a man because we needed one so that we didn't starve to death. We don't need men. So if it comes to being in a relationship, it's a matter of bringing something to the table. And if what you're bringing to the table is a toddler-like mentality where you are expecting a mommy and expecting some kind of subordinate, concubine kind of setup, no woman wants that.
Naturally, men started to harbor this sense of hopelessness where it felt like I'm never going to be able to meet women's increasingly high standards and expectations anyway. So the first shoe to drop was men thinking it's acceptable to get complacent. If women are doing all this work, why should I? Now, for a little while, that was fun for the men because we're climbing the ladder ourselves. We're screaming, we can do bad all by myself.
You have a problem with that?
No, I just my grandmother's 90th birthday, so I was gonna go home and it's fine. I'll cancel.
So the men are like, okay, bet. They begin to lose that motivation to achieve and be a provider for a purpose bigger than themselves.
Why are you single? I have kind of given up on trying to put in the effort.
A man's instinct.
I wouldn't ask that young man why he's single. I ask him why is his hair red. Why is your hair that color? Get down and do some push-ups. You disgust me. That's why they don't give me a microphone and let me go out and talk to people in the public. I have to have guards with me. I'll get all drill sergeant-y. My hat goes down further. I'll get drill sergeant-y. What's your major malfunction? Who's asking the questions around here? Can I be in charge for a minute? I go in. You have purple hair. If your hair is purple, you are wrong. I take my hat off. I'm like, if your haircut doesn't match mine, you are wrong. Y'all know I'm bald. I go in. So I'm trying to soften it up before they let me go out into the public. I don't want to get in trouble. But that's a perfect example of what's out there for these women. Like, dude, why was he playing with his hair? Why was he? I mean, I don't know. It's just so difficult. I mean, I don't know. Man, quit being a powder puff. You need to get out there and get dirty. Roll around the dirt. These guys, Jay Swans. How come no one ever talks about marriages that work? I don't know, man. That's a good question. I mean, we know the stats, man. It's a little over 50% of marriages that do work. I mean, it's somewhere in the neighborhood of, probably like 52, 53% or whatever, but people accept the 50% number. So half of marriages fail. And me and Jay Swans, we go through this all the time. I'm like, bro, you and there, and I can think of one other marriage that I've known that has worked, gone the distance. Just one. Really, and even on the other one, there was still some rough patches where there was some infidelity and stuff like that. So Naya and LJ, my people over there, but back to Jay Swans. Jay Swans, I keep telling him, like, bro, that's the only one that I know have worked. So we accept that half of marriages fail. So let's look at the 50% of marriages that don't end in divorce. All those marriages aren't happy. So you figure of that 50%, there's a percentage in there that split up, open relationships, doing all kind of other stuff. They simply don't go through the process of the legal divorce, but it still didn't work. So, so I would argue that the divorce rate is really higher because of that 50%, there's a chunk of people who aren't married. They're roommates. They're just living sexless relationships. Mel King had she did 3 episodes on sexless marriages and stuff like that. So I don't know. I think the reason people don't talk about successful marriages is because they're so rare. I mean, they're just so rare. I don't know. I got to bring you back on here. And Jay Swans, think about it. You're the only one, you and Black Man Unfiltered are the only 2 people that I'm aware of that it comes out into these spaces and actually talk about successful marriages. I mean, there's some more. Like Black Man Unfiltered has a show when he has a bunch of successfully married couples on the show, and they talk about marriage and the importance of marriage and how to make marriages work. So it is what it is. And then when you delve into it, a lot of those couples, somebody stepped out. There was some problems in this and that, and they worked through it. But it's hard, man. I don't know. I don't know. I guess the answer to your question, brother, is I don't know why they don't talk about it, because I guess the car wreck, right? The drama is people going through the court system and getting wrecked. So they rather talk about that. Remember, people want drama. But I'm definitely gonna have to try to do a show where I bring people on and they talk about a successful marriage and they talk about what it takes and the ups and downs. And it's not, it's not all lollipops and candy canes. It's actually hard work, but the hard work is worth it. When I look at my man, Jay Swans, and his wife, and I look at their sons, they raised 2 outstanding men. I mean, you just, man, so proud to just watch their boys go out here and conquer the world. So it is what it is. Brother Viking Paradigms in the house. What's good, fam? What's good, fam? Jay Swan says it's because it's way more drama. Yeah, it's because there's way more drama in talking about folks failing. Yeah, it's more drama in talking about folks failing. But man, you got to admit though, bro, 50% failure rate. Like, that's a lot. You know what I mean? Even if you disregard the stuff I was saying about the 50% success part, not being 50% because people are living as roommates, sexless marriages, not happy, not really living up to their vows, open marriages and all that. Forget all that. Just 50% success rate, 1 and 2. Bro, if you told me it was a 1 in 2 chance that my car would blow up when I go to start it, man, I'm walking. I'm walking, bro. I'm not taking that chance. And that is where we are right now. You have people like, man, it's not worth the chance. I took the chance, as you know, bro, and I got wrecked. It is what it is. I don't care. But these Gen Zers and millennials, they're just like, forget it. They don't even want to play. So Jay Swans is like, I know more happy marriages than miserable ones and divorce. Yeah. I mean, and like I said, I'm on the opposite side of that spectrum. And, like I said, 50-50. 50-50. And then, there's people who get married, got divorced, and then they'll get married again, and that one would work. I mean, there's so many. But again, the initial number, that 50% up front, half the time it fails. Bro, that's ridiculous, man. Think about it. That's ridiculous. And somebody's going to get wrecked. And it is what it is. Might be the bubbles they move in. Might be. We talk about that all the time. I know you driving, bro. I know. So be careful. Be careful. Take your time out there, man. But let's get back to the video.
To be a hero and to achieve is tied directly to how men show their love. Since the beginning of time, men have hunted and women were the gatherers and helpers. We switched this up as women and insisted that we can hunt instead, leaving men feeling confused and purposeless. In an act that drives men further into disorientation, women have chosen to blur the line between masculine and feminine energies. Recognizing the different roles men and women were biologically hardwired to play does not mean that women must surrender our equality. It just means that men are motivated by the opportunity to show themselves as competitive, daring, adventurous, courageous in achieving. But we have made them feel like these traits are no longer valued because women have chosen to demonstrate those traits ourselves. Instead, women should be secure enough to both praise men for these traits while knowing how to soften into our true feminine essence, which creates.
Now, where she's going now, I mean, I don't know if I agree with it. Yes, women do not need men in the world that we have today. In this world right now, women don't need men. It's safe. They can call a man when they need one. If something goes wrong, they call the police, and more often than not, it's going to be a man who shows up with a gun. Multiple men with guns show up to help you out. Our society is set up to take care of everyone here in the West, here in America. So yeah, women in America don't need a man. They have legal rights. Like there is absolute legal parity between men and women in this country. In fact, you could argue that women have more rights and privileges than men do. It is what it is. It is what it is. You know, that could change tomorrow. Right? But you know what else could change tomorrow? We can find ourselves in a serious conflict somewhere. Like if aliens come land from Andromeda because they got mad because Voyager went into their space. One of our Voyager spacecraft went to their space and they're like, hey, we declare a war, and they land here on planet Earth and we got to go fight the aliens. Or Atlantis surfaces from underneath the oceans and we got to fight the Atlanteans. Now all that's out the window. Women ain't trying to grab weapons to go out there and fight the enemy. We know that. They're going to want to go back to be the gatherers and nurturers. It is what it is. It is what it is. We did the show. Should women have to register for the draft? There's a lot of people in there. Like I didn't see any women. I didn't see not one feminist was like, right on, brother. Women need to go out here and register for the vote. Let's go. Not one. Not that many. Not even that many. So we know what it is. Double standards are just the way of life, man. I ain't tripping. Y'all know how I get down. Just tell me the rules of engagement and let's keep it moving. I don't care. That's not fair. It probably isn't. So what? Let's just keep moving. But it's because of that, these young dudes are walking away. They are walking away. So like it is what it is. And it's food for thought. But yeah, ladies, there's nothing wrong with being a nurturer. There's nothing wrong with being in your feminine. There's nothing wrong with that. In fact, it's beautiful. I think that's one of the most beautiful things about women. That's what I love about having a nice feminine woman next to me. When she's feel comfortable with me, she puts her head right here and she snuggles up and she makes me watch some silly Netflix show about, people ain't never met getting married or, you know what I mean? One of those fluffy shows. And guess what? I'll watch it and I'll enjoy it because I'm with this woman. I don't want to be there with some woman who's going to match my energy. She wants to try to out alpha me. Talking about let's arm wrestle. I don't want to deal with her. I can beat you. Like, no, you can't. You cannot beat me. And I'm old. Sit down before I hurt you. I don't want to deal with that. So, ladies, there's nothing wrong with being in your feminine. Nothing at all. Brother Viking, I'm getting everything Fresh and Fit talk about men can't get. But you'd be shocked how few Fresh and Fit bros ask me how I'm making things work now versus before. Yeah, a lot of guys in the manosphere, bro. You got to understand. A lot of guys in the manosphere, those in the bottom 80 types, they're invisible to women. They're in a space now where they're seen, right? Remember, people don't go outside. So they found these cyber groups that they can attach themselves to, insert themselves in, and they have friends. And these new friends are trying to encourage them to be the best that they can possibly be, which is a good thing. But some of these guys still don't want to do it. All they want to do is come over and talk crazy about women. That's all they want to do. They want to talk crazy about women, and they want to talk about how much crypto they're going to buy one day. Not how much crypto they have. They're not talking about their current portfolio. They're not talking about their real estate assets. They're not talking about their business ventures. They're talking about what they're going to do one day. And then when you press them too much, they disappear. They change their emoji, they change the name, and they come back because they could be someone brand new. A lot of these, I'm telling you, a lot of guys in the manosphere, bro, these bottom 80 dudes, they do need the help and they're looking for leadership. And I'm glad they're there because they can find leadership. They can find it in Fresh and Fit. They can find it in Lucario. They can find it in Rich Cooper, Rolo Tomasi, DL Saint. The list goes on and on and on. Valuetainment, like Patrick Beck David. The list goes on and on and on. But at the end of the day, these guys don't want to go out here and hear no. They don't want to go out there and have to fight to make themselves better. They don't want to go into the gym and do the work. Right? They don't want to do it. So I don't, I help those guys that want to help themselves. And for the rest, I mean, it's cool. I hope they get what they're looking for. But so a lot of these dudes, bro, they're invisible to women. And you know what? They should be. They say stupid stuff when they walk up to women. They mess up situations and they never learn from it. And I get on those guys hard. And like I said, they disappear. They disappear. They just want to go out and I don't like women because women don't like me. That's not man, bro. That's not hood. That's not alpha. You sound like a little punk. Go home to your mama then. Go back into the basement and stay down there. That's how we get down over here, bro. Like if you're gonna come into a real man space, you're gonna get challenged like a man. Period. That's how that works. Jay Swans, you have to surround yourself with people who are positive and doing the things that you want to do. That's how you find success in marriage. Surround yourself with successful marriages. All right, cool. And like I said, you got a 50% chance of finding marriages that work. But be careful who you're around. There are a lot of people that you got to, we always talk about vetting women. You want to get into a relationship, vet the women. If you're already married, you're in a successful relationship and you and your husband are doing well, you and your wife are doing well, you need to vet those people around you. Don't invite the enemy into your home. Don't invite those 304s and those fake alphas into your home. These guys be trying to hit on your wife, trying to get her drunk. The woman be trying to hit on you, trying to mess up what y'all got. Be careful what y'all drag into your house. And keep in mind, it's hard to find those couples. It's hard to find those couples. And Jay Swans, you know what I'm talking about, bro. There's a lot of people go out there, they don't get it right to the second or third time. They keep getting married. So my thing is, I can't believe anything you say if you were already divorced. Because you didn't take those vows seriously. That's how I look at it. But, I'm a different, I can get too hardcore sometimes. Sister Lady Navoa, women do need men. If you want kids, you can go buy sperm, love. Or you can just go out and get, knocked up by some dude. You don't need men. And I'm sorry I didn't read the rest of your chat yet, but women can go out and get pregnant if they want to. Or they can go out, they have money, they can go out and buy the type of genes they want. They can buy the type of sperm that they want. Raise their own kid, or they can go out there and try to get a guy that they think's making some money, get pregnant, and bank on the state coming in and forcing the guy to pay for a child that he may not necessarily want. And if he does want that child, the state will limit his access to his own child. So y'all know I get crazy on that. Again, young men are seeing this, and the old men are telling the young men. Steven Crowder, what do you think Steven Crowder is saying right now about marriage? You know what I mean? You look at. I mean, bro, it's just so crazy. Tom Brady, alpha of alphas. His wife left him. Crazy. I mean, it goes on and on and on. So, my bad, love. It just that right there caught me. I had to stop. So let me go back to it. Women do need men if you want kids. Your apartment house condo built. Look at Women King. The rules to be a what's that emoji? The rules to be a something, but didn't talk on truth, loyalty, because the leader had D and made a baby. Talking about the Woman King. Yeah, talking about the story of the Agoji. Y'all know how I feel about that. Those are the people who sold us into slavery. They didn't want to stop. Took the Brits, took white people to make them stop selling black people into slavery. Don't get me on that. That's another topic. But go watch that episode we did on the Woman King, how Hollywood played real loose with history. The Agojis were no heroes. But I get your point, though, sis. I do. I hear you. But it's just the way that the system is set up now. Honestly, you don't need a man to get resources and security and protection and provisioning. You don't. You really don't. All you need is you need something from a man, but you can get that because, there's still a lot of dudes out there trying to get that Foxy Brown. You can go out there and get the Foxy Brown. Get pregnant. That's not hard. And then from that point on, you can run the table. You can really run the table. Jay Swans, that goes with all things in life. If you surround yourself, if you surround yourself with bad people, if you surround yourself around broke people, you're gonna be broke. If you surround yourself around fake people, you're gonna be fake. Yeah, that's facts. That's facts. Sister Lady Navoa, look at I Can Do Bad All By Myself. She a married man. She's a married man paying her bills. Ended up married. IGS. We got to stop the God don't make mistakes. He created man first. Made us woman. Oh, yeah, it's a good point, Doug. Yeah. We've come so far away from the religion too, sis. We've come so far away from that to the point where, you know, Christianity, I don't even think it has any teeth left. So, yeah, I like being feminine. Sorry, Deacon. I love feminine women. I love feminine women. Y'all know I struggle with the hieroglyphs. Y'all put up emojis and stuff. I just get lost. Brother Mandrell's in the house. What's good, fam? They don't want it. Okay, talking about Brother Mandrell. You know he gonna tell you like it is. Sister Lady Navoy, if Fresh and Fit is for men who is free, not marriage, there is a I think there is a difference. They teach differ and how to make money to get the girls. Yeah, Fresh and Fit says this. The Manosphere says this: men and women are better together than they are apart. That's the first thing. They say that. However, what Myron and Fresh have done is they look at what it is today, right now. And they'll tell guys, like I tell, in this current system right now, the risk isn't worth the reward. You can get wrecked, especially if you have something. Like if you're a brokey, if you're a dude out there who doesn't have nothing, maybe you tall, your body's ripped, maybe you got a big joystick or whatever, and some woman wants to get married and she has stuff, get married. Dude, if you're broke and you plan on staying broke and you have some woman who's making 6 figures plus and she wants to get married, marry her. Marry her. Go off and live happily ever after. And guess what? If she decides to divorce you, half of nothing is nothing. You ain't got to worry about it. You're not going to lose anything because you didn't have anything. And if you decide to lose her, you're going to get half her stuff. You know what I mean? You're going to get extra child support when it's time to get the kids, although most guys don't operate like that. Some do. So if you're a brokey, man, by all means, go out there and get married. But if you have something, you need to really give it thought. So Myron and Fresh are like, don't get married to the government. You know, try to do something like know the laws of the land, know the laws of your state. Don't go into it blind. Be prepared. They talk about prenups and postnups and all that kind of stuff. That's what they're telling these guys. And they're telling these guys to be the best versions of themselves, to get into the gym, to work out, right? To get socially calibrated, to go out here and understand how to deal with women. One of the things that Myron said, they even had I forget the name of the Jewish conservative guy. I can't think of his name, but anyway, Brother Viking, if you're still here, let me know what that brother's name is. What's the Jewish guy? Like he's like a real big conservative traditional guy. Ben Shapiro. Ben Shapiro even reacted to one of Myron's, talking points when he says if you're a guy, you should sleep with at least, I think he said 50 women or 30 women, something like that. And the reason he says that is so he's like, you should be able to determine what type of woman you're dealing with. Sleep with her, see what these women are doing, and then kind of get yourself up to speed on who you're dealing with, so you'll be better suited to deal with them. You will know if you're dealing with a loose woman. You will know if you're dealing with a woman who is traditional and she just allows you to enjoy her. And that way you will know. That's what he's saying. That makes sense to me. You want to be experienced. He just put a number on it. You don't want to go out there inexperienced and you come up against a woman who has a ton of experience and you have a lot of money and stuff and you get fooled. That's all he's saying. But Ben Shapiro kind of laughed at that. And everybody in the Fresh and Fit world is like, boy, it'd be good to see a debate between Ben Shapiro and Myron Gaines. Maybe that'll happen one day. We'll see. Looks like Steven Crowder, they're working on maybe getting him on so they can talk to him more about what's going on with his situation, in his divorce. And I'm telling you, there's a video out there of Steven Crowder talking about his divorce, man. I'm telling you, the guy was almost in tears. You could tell he is just crushed by this. He is absolutely crushed by this. So yeah, Myron and Fresh they're all about teaching guys to be the best versions of themselves. Some people, they pick and choose what they hear and what they don't hear, selective hearing. They really come down on guys when guys are out there wilding out and doing stupid stuff. They let them know they're doing stupid stuff. Don't think that the Fresh and Fit world it's some echo chamber where they're all just talking about Myron's the greatest, Fresh is the greatest, and no. They're like, bro, what's up? You need to get yourself together, get your credit score together, get your body together, get out here and get your portfolio together. It's all about doing the work and getting results over there. So shout out to Myron and Fresh. You know what I mean? And Leia knows, she's like, man, this is good. You should jump on. I think she's talking about Jay Swans. He might. It depends on how long we go. I could probably go another 45 minutes tops, and I gotta go get my daughter. Or no, you should probably say not to Mandrill or whoever, you know me. But yeah, you know what? I'll put the link down here in a second. And then if a woman says she likes being alone, that sometimes, always, no, we get lonely and horny and need attention. Facts. But it's still a man. Even if they pick their own sperm. Yeah, you're right. You need a man. You know, you need what the man, at least you need the sperm, just if you're trying to have a baby. Or, I mean, you can adopt, but like, it is what it is. Brother Mandrell, Steven Carter doesn't count. He doesn't. Oh, man, Mandrell's going to come on here and act a fool. Jay Swans, all leaders aren't good ones for young men. All leaders aren't good. Facts. But it's up to the individual to listen to the message and discern, take the good, leave the bad, period. I'm not going to put it on nobody. You know, like we talked about this a little bit yesterday, bro. We were talking about Patton, right? Patton was a horrible leader while he was going through it, but he's remembered as one of the greatest generals in American history. And he did come around towards the end. But you got to understand, you remember, like I know, man, Patton was trying to go ahead and get us into a shooting war with Russia right at the end of the war in 1945. No, we know he was right. We know he was right, but at the time they was looking at him like, this man crazy. You know what I mean? Smacking the kids who have battle fatigue or whatever. And he was like, maybe I shouldn't have done that. So I don't put it on the leaders as much as I put it on the people who follow. He's like, man, and Sister Lace like, sorry, typing fast while moving. I ain't mad. Hey, be careful. Take care of yourselves. Don't trip. I'll get through the messaging as best I can. It's all good, y'all. Mandrill being stubborn right now. Yeah, he's out working. Mandrill's been working real hard. Wonderful 34s in the house. What's good, fam? What up with you? And thank you, brother Viking Ben. Yep, Ben Shapiro. That's who came out and pushed back against what Myron was saying. When it came, he didn't have a problem with anything else that Myron was saying. He just had a problem with the amount of sexual experience. He didn't like that at all. Again, Ben Shapiro is very traditional. Came in from a really good family. Came from wealth. Came from a successful family. His family was involved in helping him find his wife. His wife is a doctor. He has all these different layers. And even still, his marriage isn't guaranteed success. It's not. It's just the world that we're living in right now. People think that, people in the Jewish community, they get married and they stay married forever. No, that's not the case. They still live in America under American laws. Y'all be surprised what's going on in the Jewish community when it comes to divorce. Actually, you probably wouldn't. When it comes to divorce, it's crazy. That 50%, it applies to them too. Half of those marriages don't work either. Sister Lady Navoa, if I have a prenup, we don't need to be married. Sorry. Word. Hey, that's if you got money and you're a dude, I would get yourself a prenup. If you started out with nothing and then you came into something, let's say you started out with nothing and then all of a sudden, I don't know, you came up with some business, you made a brand new way of making widgets or something like that. And now you got a bunch of money coming, get a postnup and know the laws of your state. It is what it is. I mean, because otherwise you can get wrecked. And people are getting wrecked left and right. Brother Dorke is in the house. What's good, fam? Following a religion used to give you tools to live your life by or strong male leaders in the home. Both have either gone or not followed. So people follow popular culture and music, hence the downfall. Facts, bro.
It'll be like this.
Facts, bro. Let me give you that might be the comment of the stream right there. That might be the comment of the stream. I got to give you that, bro. And welcome. Brother Viking, based on some things Ben has let slip out about his wife, I wouldn't be shocked if he's next on a divorce chopping block, not wishing ill on the man. Yeah, I don't wish divorce on anyone. I mean, it's hard out there, y'all. It's hard out there, bro. It's hard. It's really difficult. And this is what men are looking at. Why risk it? That's what they're looking at, especially if you got something. Why risk it? Now, if you can get some Spanish citizenship and get married in Spain and then you sign over all your assets to your parents, you golden. Go ahead and get married. You know what I mean? Shout out to that soccer, that footballer over there, whoever he is, married to some older actress who has a bunch of money. I want to divorce him, and then finds out she can't get any of his money because he gave everything to his mom. And that works in Spain, apparently. Wouldn't work here in America, but it works in Spain. And then now she's looking at having to pay him child support if he wants it, according to their laws. And there's so many dudes around the world are standing up, you know what I mean, screaming city boys and all this kind of stuff. It's amazing what you have to do to protect your assets these days. So why even take the chance? Why even take the chance? Jay Swans, he was crushed because he loves his wife, or he loved his wife, and I was married as failed, or as he crushed because he's gonna take his money from it. And I'm not sure which one. I don't know if we're talking about Crowder, because I'm behind you driving. Listen, if y'all out here driving, don't worry about sending comments, y'all. Don't worry about sending comments, especially if you're driving around in Florida. These people don't know how to drive down here. Don't text while you're driving. You want to make me mad? That's my pet peeve. Let me find out you was texting me and you got into a car accident. I'll probably come and smack you while you're in the bed. You're all in traction, leg up, y'all like this. I'll come in there and smack you in your head. What's wrong with you? It ain't that important. It's not. I love y'all. I don't want to see you get hurt. Text in the comments in team replay. Don't be driving and texting, y'all. And Jason was like, man, my text talk suck. Yeah, it does, bro. Some of the greatest generals in history have been overly aggressive, as a whole, but were effective, and that's why history loves them. Yeah, absolutely. But the point being, those men who had to follow him, man, they called him blood and guts. They're like, oh, there go old blood and guts right there. I mean, no, they called him blood and guts and glory or something like that. I think it was guts and glory. They called him old guts and glory. And the soldiers was like, yeah, our guts and his glory, because he had no problems just sending men into the machine to get slaughtered. But you're a general, you're fighting a war. It is what it is. So yeah, I think that's what it was. They called him old guts and glory. That's what they called him, I believe. Don't quote me on it, but I believe. I think I heard that in a movie. I think that was in Patton. They're like, oh, there he goes, old guts and glory himself. And one of the soldiers was like, yeah, our guts, his glory. So it is what it is. Brother Dino Dinosaurs in the house. What's good? What's good, fam? Brother DL, if we could replicate 7 of 9 in different colors, we would be super fine. Hey, bro. Hey, man, I'll take 7 of 9 as she is right now today. You heard me? You heard me, Jerry Ryan? What's up, Shouty? Let's go get some ice cream. Me and you. Let's go get some ice cream, baby. She fine. Brother Dorkhead, 6 of 9 would probably be more freaky. 69 LL, get it? Man, where's my button? Want. I ain't even got my button, bro. I took off the ta-dum-dum. I took it off, man. Otherwise, you would have got that. I just took that out of my soundboard, too. But I ain't mad at you, bro. Let's get back to the video.
Creates balance and peace needed for a healthy relationship. Women should embrace our traditionally feminine traits that can perfectly complement those of men. Nurturance, sensitivity, sweetness, supportiveness, gentleness, warmth, expressiveness, empathy, affection, and tenderness.
Yo, y'all see that? Let me back it up. Y'all see this right here? And you know, I mean, let me put it on the big screen. Put it on the big screen. Y'all see this right here? Ladies, real talk, ladies. What women are out here doing this? Supportiveness, empathy, sensitivity, warmth, gentleness, expressiveness, sweetness. Right? Who's doing that? Nurturance. Everyone's out here trying to be a boss babe. She killed it with that. Ladies, you might want to get back to that. But here's the thing, though. When a woman finds the guy she really wants and she loves, honors, and respects that man, she'll do all those things. She'll do all those things right there. You ain't even got to ask her to. You ain't got to ask. You'll never have to ask her to make you a sandwich because she done already made it. So women understand what it is when they find a man that they really want, that they love, they cherish, they respect. They do all that. I've seen it. Just letting y'all know. I've seen it. Let's continue.
Affection and tenderness. I like to think that I'm a fair and nuanced person. I believe that I am capable of seeing both sides in pretty much anything. And another cultural thorn that women need to take some responsibility for is that we've decided as a gender that personal development is apparently a non-issue. Most of us have a God complex that is being fueled by toxic therapy culture, which is ironically making us worse, not better. Young women have been brainwashed into thinking that we're perfect exactly the way we are, no matter how fat, lazy, mentally ill that could be.
You'll feel it soon.
I won't. I told you, okay? Endorphins don't work on me. And I didn't have a promise of your runner's high. It's full of.
It has propelled.
I mean, she has a good point there. With I believe in therapy and it can definitely be effective, but there's people out there who are just, they're not really participating. They're just going. It's like a fashion trend, or it's a societal norm. I'm gonna go see my therapist, but I'm not trying to get better. I know people when the therapist said, this is your problem, you need to do this, and this, and the person just leaves that therapist and goes and gets another therapist. And then that'll go on for 3 or 6 months. And then finally that new therapist will be like, no, you're the problem. You need to do this, and this. And the cycle goes on and on and on. If you're not willing to work on yourself, I don't care how many people you pay to talk to, you're going to come to the same result. You. And if you don't want to fix you, well, that's it. And that's where we are. And she said that thing about being fat. Man, we control what we eat. We control the portions. People, I mean, it's fat shaming. No, it's fat shaming to encourage someone to eat themselves to death, in my opinion. You got people out here, they're not fat, they're obese, morbidly obese. They're human, the bones can't hold up all the fat. They're dying a very slow and painful death, and people are like, yeah, you go. And it's mostly you go girl, because if you're an obese dude, you get no love. You are invisible. So there's no fat shaming on the male side of the spectrum. All the fat shaming is referring to women living a very painful life because they won't stop eating. They won't fix themselves. That, to me, that's hate. That's not love. But you're gonna get mad at somebody who's like, yo, you need to do something about your weight. You can't say that. You're bullying me. That's fat shaming. Okay, die then. That's what it boils down to. That's terrible. That is terrible. You talk about the Bible. You talk about the good book. Am I my brother's keeper? I should be. I should be able to tell you and lead you to a healthier you. Can't do that. They used to have tricks for that back in the 70s and 80s and 90s. You know what the trick was? Fat people had to go to the fat person store. They couldn't wear regular clothes. They couldn't wear the clothes that were for the average size human. They had to go to the big and tall, the fat store. So what happened? People put pressure on companies like Lululemon, designer workout gear. You should be making workout gear for obese people. And Lululemon was like, no, we're not going to do that. And finally, they had to give in. They had to go make mannequins that were for plus size. Like, let's keep it 100, man. Y'all making mannequins for obese people. Instead of having that goal, I'm going to get my weight down so I can buy me a pair of Lululemons, and that's a tangible goal. It's going to make you feel good when you get there. Now, we're just going to make Lululemon make bigger clothes. And if I were Lululemon, I would have charged them. I'd have charged them so much money for that. I'm like, all right, fine. You're going to make me make fat clothes? Bets $1,000 a pair. Hey, you got they right there. If you want some, they right over there. $1,000 a pair. Let's see you flex. For real, for real. You wearing some Lululemons and you plus size, you got paper. That's what I would have done. But, they would have fired me. Brother Viking, yeah, I do not need a contract to be loyal to my woman. If she wanted to leave me, she has all the money and ability to do so. That's what's up, fam. That's what's up. That's what's up. Let's continue. I'm going to finish the video and then wrap this up because I got to get going. Promise I'll buy my daughter her favorite tacos. So I need to leave a little extra early to go get them. The taco place is far away.
The sin of self-obsession and created a barrier preventing us from considering any other possibility other than they want to hurt me, they're out to get me. Anyone that attempts to hold us to a higher standard is toxic and emotionally abusive. You're not my supervisor! The glorification of hyper-selfishness propagandized us into the belief that every last one of us is a 9 or 10.
Ask the ladies to rate themselves on a scale of 1 to 10.
10. Let's say I'm a 10. 10. 10. 10.
Don't you guys think it's a bit delusional to rate yourself as a 10?
Laura.
So y'all are perfect.
Yep. Perfect.
Yeah. Bruv, come on.
Every girl is a 10.
I don't.
Every woman.
Every woman's a 10? Is every guy a 10?
No.
Absolutely not.
Hold on. Whoa.
The lie is so pervasive.
And that was from the Whatever podcast. But where did we see it first? We saw it first on the Fresh and Fit podcast after our show. Because that's where we're at, Whatever podcast, that's what he's modeled that show on. He's modeled that show on Fresh and Fit. You got a table full of women. Every single one of them said, I'm a 10. A woman who's a 10 makes money off her beauty, like millions off her beauty. Supermodels and stuff like that, actresses, for the most part. When you can monetize your beauty, you are a 10, definitely a 10. These women at the table, like, yeah, we're perfect. All women are perfect. Where'd that come from? Perfection is hard to attain. Like you're telling me, so they're perfect simply because they're female. All right. And all of them said the same thing. Well, are men perfect? No. And this is the problem. This is where we are. Again, young guys are watching. Who you think watches Whatever podcast? Who you think watches Fresh and Fit? The majority of those people are young men, and they're watching this. They're like, wow. So it's not just Susie, stuck up Susie from down the block. It's not just her. It's not just Lynn. It's all these women. Like, all right, I ain't dealing with none of them. That's what it boils down to. That's what's going on right now. They're seeing it. These men are seeing it, and they are making up their mind. And they're like, yo, just like Rich Cooper says, man, the juice is not worth the squeeze. I'm moving on. I'm going to work on me. And if I want to have some fun, I'm looking for some Foxy Brown. I'm going to go to Colombia or Thailand or the Philippines, or I'm going to go to Romania. I'm going to go somewhere. I'm going to go down to, Argentina, have a little fun and come back. That's what's going on, y'all.
That we not only lie to ourselves, we lie to each other.
You are physically flawless.
Because of all this lying, we only entertain interest from men who are 9s or 10s. But realistically, we're likely only 6s and 7s ourselves. And ladies, I'm right.
I'm going to be honest. I'm not going to rate you guys, but none of you are a 10.
Women are operating in such a high level of delusion that we'll refuse to date our own level or lower while simultaneously strong-arming men into dating down, something that we're not even willing to do ourselves.
If you want a boyfriend, you have to drop your standard. You have to settle to be in a relationship. You have to settle for something less.
I don't think it's settling, though, because what's going on is you have average women that don't want to date average men.
We project and accuse men.
And again, you see it over and over and over again. And it's true. Average women don't even see average men. I just did a short on that like yesterday. We had a couple hundred views. Average women do not see average men. Dudes, if you are out there trying to level up and you want to get on some women, you must level up to be seen. Don't think that chubby chick down at CVS is going to be happy that you talking to her. If you're a basement dweller, she knows it. So if you want to talk to her, you're going to have to be almost a top tier dude before she even want to look your way. I know it sounds crazy, gentlemen, but that's just what it is. That is the situation on the ground. If you don't like it, I don't know what to tell you, bro. Go back into the basement.
And of being superficial, but modern women are the most superficial beings to ever exist.
Men are so superficial.
Would you date a guy that's shorter than you?
Absolutely not.
What has happened is women have cut out 98% of the potential dating pool and convinced themselves that they're cool sharing the top 2% of men because we'd rather perpetually be in the talking stage with a 10 than having a meaningful, fulfilling, and monogamous relationship with a 7.
If you can't.
Rolo Tomasi says that all the time. Shout out to Rolo. He says it all the time. He's like, women would rather share a alpha than be saddled with a faithful beta. Again, all these talking points, people were like, oh man, Rolo's crazy and this and that. And all, Michael Sertain and these numbers aren't right, whatever. He's misconstruing it, this and that. They're manipulating the data. You hear all this stuff. It's like, bro, you keep hearing it over and over and over and over again. Water is wet. You know what I mean? The sun is hot. Nothing's going to change that, y'all. It's the same thing over and over and over. Quit trying to assess blame. Just adjust to the situation on the ground. If you're trying to accomplish your mission, you know what your mission is. If your mission is to get a certain type of woman, well, you're going to have to step up and present as a certain type of guy. If that's your mission. You're going to have to shift your objectives to accomplish the mission. And people are telling you what it is. You can see it in 1080p every single day to whatever podcast. Like I said, it's a softer version of Fresh and Fit, but you can see the same thing. People will say, oh, don't on Fresh and Fit is all these Miami women. Them women come from all over America, all over the world at this point. And the same thing, whatever podcast, most of the women he has on there they're in the LA area. So they're in SoCal, they're in Southern California. Same talking points. These women are saying the exact same thing. And on whatever podcast, most of those girls, most of those women, they're from college campuses. They're currently in college. And they're young. They're way younger than the girls on Fresh and Fit. So I'm trying to tell y'all, man, it is what it is. It is what it is, Brother Viking. That's called killing with kindness, DL. This is when I was talking about the obesity thing and when I was talking about fat shaming and letting people eat themselves to death. You can love too much. And I watched it happen to my aunt. She lived and died painfully years before her mom and dad did the same assisted living place. That's terrible, man. I really hate to see that. That really bugs me. That we sit here as a society and we let these people eat themselves to death. And that's completely preventable. And we don't do anything to help these people, man. It's terrible. It is absolutely terrible. Tobias the Travelers in the house. What's good, fam? Good to see you. If that's what they choose, that's what they choose, is being at the top. The funny thing is that any man can get there. Yes, sir. There's plenty of room to get into the top 20. Like I talk about the top 20 and the bottom 80. Again, it's not a hard number. I'm just drawing the contrast between the guys at the top, the minority of guys that women want, and the abundance of dudes at the bottom that women don't see. It's easy to get into the top. It's easy to get up there, guys. Every guy can do it, but you have to put in the work. And that's what Brother Tobias the Traveler is telling me. Shout out to you, bro. Y'all should go and check out his channel. Actually, man, Tobias the Traveler. This brother is well traveled. He's been to all kind of spots on planet Earth, all the little nooks and crannies. He has a great podcast over there, man. They have good conversations over there. Definitely check him out. Absolutely, bro. Absolutely. And then before this stream is over, bro, I'm gonna put a link to your show in the description below, man, so people can find you, man. I want them to come over there. If you really want to know how to travel and travel properly, man, you need to holler at Brother Tobias. You know what I mean? That's for you, man. Another one for you, bro. So let's continue the video.
Can't accurately assess, here's how attractive I actually am. You're going to keep chasing after men that they're going to have an accurate assessment of what you look like, and they're going to say, I'll hook up with this girl. I'm never going to commit to her. I'll keep her along and keep her. I'll never give her commitment.
According to Tinder data, while men swipe right on 40% of women on average, this number is only 7% for women. No wonder men feel like dating is completely pointless. For the guys left barely hanging on, it feels nothing short of fatalistic. If a guy tries to embrace his masculinity and show chivalry, it's deemed toxic at best, sexual harassment at worst.
Excuse me, ma'am. I've been in a terrible car accident. My legs are pinned under the car, and I can't reach to get my phone. Can you please get some help?
Are you serious? I have a boyfriend.
And it gets bleaker because men today are financially incentivized to not pursue marriage.
Are you single?
Actually, yes.
Why are you single?
Because it's expensive.
But he's right.
Women are 70% more likely to initiate divorce, according to.
So right here, she's saying women are 70% more likely. No, women initiate 70% of divorces today. It's not that they're more likely. They're probably 90% more likely. 95% more likely to file. But 70% of divorces today are initiated by women. 70%, y'all. Again, 50% of marriages end in divorce, and then of those divorces, 70% of the time the divorce was initiated by the woman. Yet you want guys to take this chance. Like I said, if you have something, bro, you need to protect yourself. If you are a brokey, man, get at it. Get married.
To the American Sociological Association. Men know if they choose the wrong woman, it will end in divorce. And the research shows that she will be the one to benefit, not him. While both
facts. If you choose the wrong woman, and I'm here to tell you, if you choose poorly, you will get wrecked. And it's your fault. You got to hold that L. I hold my L. I hug my L every single day. I got numbers on the wall to remind me. I look at I got a chalkboard. Every day I look at that chalkboard. It's like, yeah, I messed up bad. It is what it is, though. It is what it is. Now I can't, when I talk to people, I'm like, well, this has been my experience. And here's the thing, I've never been married. It would have only been worse if I'd have been married. Not just the financial side of it, but the emotional side of it. Men fall in love for real. Men love idealistically. Women tend to love opportunistically. Those are Rollo Tomasi's words. Shout out to Rollo Tomasi. And I gotta lie to you. I mean, I gotta tell you the truth. I mean, I see where he's coming from when he says that. And I'll say it one more time. Men love idealistically. Women love opportunistically. And those are the words of Rollo Tomasi. Shout out to Rollo. Let's continue.
both spouses lose, men typically suffer a larger hit because of child support and alimony. Men are looking at this and weighing the risks. And the unfortunate reality for women is that instead of seeing these statistics and thinking, okay, true love in a family is a pro that outweighs the con, they opt out of the equation entirely. Men are more willing to put up with loneliness because in their mind, they'll still get to keep their money and dignity. Plus, thanks to the pandemic, they have learned that they can also get all of their sexual and self-esteem needs met without leaving their couch.
And this part they're talking about now, you have to call it corn because YouTube doesn't like the P word. So yeah, that's bad. That's bad for women. That and also paying women for the Foxy Brown, that's bad overall, especially for men who don't have any experience. That's really bad. And that kind of spirals into this rabbit hole they call the black pill. So all the corn out there, now they have the dolls, pretty soon there's going to be androids. There's going to be sex bots. That's going to happen. And when that happens, man, I don't know. When that happens, oh my goodness, the birth rates are really going to drop. Yeah, like that's so sad that that's what guys are doing. They won't even come out the house. They're in the house. She's going to get into this some more about, other outlets that they have. It's really bad, y'all. It's really bad. Let's continue.
Confidence is boosted through comments, likes, and retweets on social media. Sexual needs are met through pornography. Why would men feel motivated to go to bars, for example, to spend their money on drinks for women who may or may not even be interested?
There's a lot of bars in New York City.
You go up to someone in a bar, they're like, why are you talking to me?
You can cut to the chase with pornography, and many men took advantage of the opportunity in lockdown. Fast forward 2 years later, the habit has been formed, and the men are drastically different. The false identity of women and the increasing apathy of men, to say the least, is literally adding up to human extinction at this point. Gen Z and young millennials are just not getting married. We are living through a serious crisis. The eligible bachelors are buying pretend land in the metaverse and subscribing to the OnlyFans of the girl next door. They aren't building a house or a life beyond the digital landscape because we've done a horrible job as women making commitment and marriage look like a worthwhile risk. Unfortunately, I don't have a feel-good solution for you. I personally think Gen Z and younger millennial men may be a lost cause, but something we can do is instill better self-worth in the men of Gen Alpha. That's the generation that comes after Gen Z. Because if not, this will be the end. We are already at 63% of men under 30 who have just left the dating market. If we don't change course now, that statistic will reach 100% in no time. If you think
she ain't lying, y'all. She ain't lying. And I mean, it's tough to say, but I ain't gonna lie to you. It does look like we have written off a couple of generations. The millennials and Gen Z and the millennials, they're not gonna do it. Like we've written them off. We've absolutely written them off. She is, man, she's right on that, man. She's right. I'm just copying the link. I'll drop the link now. If anybody wanted to come up and say a few words, I got like another 25, 30 minutes. Bro. I mean, it's just one of those things, bro. You sit there and you just kind of shake your head. This is where we've come. Now, can we turn it around? Yeah, we could turn it around. Ladies, you're going to have to take the lead on it. You're going to have to take the lead on it. I don't know what it's going to look like. I'm not sure if women even want to take the lead on it, so to speak. I think women are like, whatever. They're still going to keep doing what they're doing, pushing for the best. And while they're pushing for the best, they're actually pushing out the rest. And that's just bad. That's just so bad. There's the Morgan Stanley report that says 45% of women between the ages of 25 and 40 will be sexless. I'm sorry, will be not sexless. They will be childless and single by 2030. Right? Think about that. Like the financial sector has done a report. And the information that came back is that half of women, 45% of women between 25 and 40, I believe it is, will be childless and single in 7 years. Like half of the available women out there will be single and not have any kids. They have pets. That's a very, very eye-opening stat. Now, for someone like me, a dude in his 50s, that doesn't quite look his age, I still got a couple miles in the tank. That's great news for me, because there's gonna be some young fine ones out there looking for attention, and they'll certainly be able to get it. And I'm seeing it now already. Like when I'm out there, when I go into no man's land, right? When I come out of the trenches and I go into no man's land and I engage with folks out here, and like if I'm in Tampa or if I'm in Miami or Fort Lauderdale or Dallas or Atlanta or DC or New York. I'm telling you, man, women who are in their late 20s, all the way up until their mid 40s, I think they've adjusted what they're hunting for, and they're all coming after old dudes. They're coming after old dudes. And most of the women that I'm seeing, They have stuff. They have their own home, multiple homes in some cases. They're making 6 figures plus. They're wearing all the designer stuff. The bottom of their shoes are red. They have on nice timepieces. They're carrying, fine purses. And I'm starting to see Birkins everywhere. A cheap Birkin is like $25,000. There's women out there, man, have a closet full of Birkins, bro. You're talking about $200,000-$300,000 in Birkins alone. Not to count the Chanel bags, not to count the Gucci stuff, the all the other bags that they have. Forgive me on not knowing all the terms. My cousin breaks down these bags to me all the time. Trust me, I know what they are. I just can't remember them right now. And there's certain bags that they carry, and on average, they're spending $1,100 a bag. If they go in, they go get a bag for $600 to them, that's a cheap bag. These women, they're attractive. They're even I'm not even talking about the ones that wear a lot of makeup. I'm not talking about the ones that do like the surgeries, the Botox, and all that. I'm talking about just legit attractive women. They're like 7s and 8s. 6, 7s, and 8s. They keep themselves in shape. They don't have a guy. They tried to run the table. They couldn't get the guy they wanted. They were getting their backs blown out. They were going after guys that what is it? The Medium Man. I discovered him on Melanie King's show. This dude's out there with his game. His game is so perfect that women fall into the trap every time, and he puts them in a rotation. This is what's going on with women these days. And then on the other side of that, they're like, I got to hurry up and get married. So they're coming after old dudes. Unfortunately, it's still another trap. They wound up in the trap. What's good? Brother Tobias is in the house, man. What's good, fam? How you feeling?
Oh, life is good, bro. Thank you for bringing me up. Let me pause this music.
Yeah, man. There you go. Let me get your proper hand. So yeah, bro. Thanks for popping in, man. We were sitting here talking about this, man. What's your thoughts on these young guys, the millennials and Gen Z? Were you aware of this? That they're leaving the dating marketplace to the tune of 63% of them have already checked out?
I didn't know the number was that high, but I know there are a ton of younger men who aren't actually dating like that, right? Because, a couple of my nephews, they are, the Gen Z and they're millennial and Gen Z. And I see how they move and I'm like, oh, okay. Like one of my nephews, he does this video game thing, kicks it at the house, goes to work and just chills at home. Young women, he's 22. Young women aren't on his radar. Now his older brother, right, is 25. I've ran into him at different nightclubs. He going hard in the paint. So right, and he's an Asian cat, so he out there spitting, like just doing his thing. But for the number of men, those younger men that aren't out there trying to get it like that, I think to myself, I think about, well, why aren't they? Because maybe they had a bad experience and whatnot, because that happens to most of us. As young men, we'll talk to some woman who we're interested in based off what others have told us. Maybe they weren't well, a lot of times they weren't. Well, men will talk to women based on what women have told them, which is incorrect. And they'll talk to that lady, or they'll talk to that young lady, and she's not feeling them. And maybe it happens a couple times, so they're just like, "Nah, I'm good." It does pose a problem for society. I know, and that's particularly in the U.S. When you go to other countries, you don't see that, right?
See, I was gonna ask you about that. So I keep telling folks, I'm like, "Yo, this is a uniquely Western problem," and they're like, "Well, what do you mean?" I'm like, "This is going on in the U.S." Canada, Australia, New Zealand. It's going on in the UK, but it's not going on in South and Central America. It's not going on in the East. It's not going on in certain other places. And you travel, so you can confirm that.
Oh, absolutely. Right. Absolutely. So whether you are in the Middle East, if you're on the continent of Africa, if you're in Asia, well, Japan is a different story, right? Japan has been different for way before. The men weren't really dealing with women for way before it even hit the US like that. But it's for other reasons. But it's even like when you're in Eastern Europe is completely different. It's very, very traditional. There's some pockets where women of a certain group called with the ism on it are trying to make headway, but it's really not happening. It's really not happening. But their family structures, right, are intact. The men are present. Like you got grandfather, dad, uncles, right, older male cousins. Everybody is like giving, the young men, hey, you know what? She's a good woman. She's not a great woman. They vet each other. And it's very, very different here. The young men are like, they a lot of times we don't have, that's those solid male figures in our lives, especially when, we're coming, just say from adolescence. Say if you get 12, 13, like middle school through high school and beyond as a young man, your early 20s, if you don't have that knowledge coming your way, it's really easy to check out of the game because you're like, oh, well, I've been up to bat a couple times and I struck out hard. She threw that slider at me and, I didn't just swing. I swung, right? And I fell and I got embarrassed because there's other people watching the game also, right? They have the spectator. So like, if you playing baseball, you swing smack or you don't hit the home run, but that you swing, missing ball, everyone's talking about you. And that's hard. That's embarrassing. So you're like, oh,
but that's part of the game though. That's what
exactly.
when you have that leadership that you're saying that they don't have, you learn that, man. Go on out there and take your medicine. We all been there. Trouble with the curve, lay back on that curve, wait for it to break, then pow like that. But you need someone to coach you up. Brother Dino Dinosaur, not in the UK, brother. Yeah, we know UK, US, same out of she. It's problems over there. And Jay Swans, this brother right here, this my guy. He serves in the same unit. We've known each other for the better part of 30 years. He's married to, he won. He's like, just got home, peach cobbler sitting on the counter waiting for me, winning. Not winning, brother. You won. He has a queen. I don't use that term lightly. Jay Swan Sister Naya is a queen. Brother
Congrats.
Viking Paradigms in the house. Yeah, man. Hey, bro, they worked hard.
Yo,
I saw it from
can
the
you hear me all right?
Yes, sir, brother. Viking Paradigms in the house. What's good, man? How you feeling?
I'm feeling good, man. Good day so far. So beautiful weather.
Yeah, so far so
It's
good.
actually
So
not
what's
cold.
that's good. Yeah, it's never cold down here, bro. Cold for us down here in Central Florida is 50 degrees. You get down to 50 degrees, we're like, ooh, might have to put a jacket
62
on.
right now.
Oh, I'm allergic to the cold. I can't wait to move here later this year. I'm out.
I ain't mad at you though. So, brother Viking, man, what's your take on this? With these younger guys, because I know you're heavy in the manosphere, especially in the Fresh and Fit fam, bro. We have you over there. Are you seeing these guys that have checked out?
Yeah, I actually, because the thing is that I don't just stay in the quote, red pill niche and stuff like that. When I got into this community, I explored all aspects of it, right? So I was looking at the black pill guys, the MGTOW guys, and all that stuff. You see a lot. Once again, what does MGTOW mean? Men going their own way. It's the same thing that it's like the flip side of a strong, independent woman. Independent of what? Like going your own way from what? Men and women, right?
Yeah.
That's the point of those sayings. And a lot of guys, they just decided that they'd rather waste their time jerking off to porn than wasting their time pursuing women. And why? Because they're losers. They put themselves in the lower half by not having work ethic, right? Not realizing they need to develop skills and work ethic in order to achieve in life and have girls be like, oh shit, this guy might actually be worth a damn, right? They don't want to do that. I know, because I used to be one of those guys where I was told, oh, just do you. You can be as nerdy and as fat as you want. Like I said, I found out there is no fat acceptance for men. It's only for women, right? Like you said, you're 100% right. And then I also wanted, Jay Swans posed a question in the chat. I wanted to attempt to answer it. He asked, why don't we talk about successful marriages? I can tell you why. It's because all the successful marriages have a man leading them 99% of the time. So if they talk about that, they don't want to ruin their own narrative, which is that women not only can lead, because they can, but that they should lead. And as I found out, when you try to do that 50-50 stuff and you're not on point, you get wrecked in terms of the relationship. My girl didn't want to leave me, as I mentioned before. She never wanted to leave me because she saw a future winner. The problem was I was fucking up and squandering my own potential. And that's where a lot of these young guys I deal with in the Fresh and Fit Discord coming in from other communities, whatever it might be, some genuinely want to learn how to be a good man so that way they can become a good husband, right? Somebody that's actually a good father on top of that. But the problem is once again, most people, they're more interested in the drama rather than doing the work solutions. Hope that
That's
makes
what's
sense.
up, brother
You know what?
Tobias. What's your take on that, bro?
No, I agree with him 100%. Man, I was running around these circles way before there was black pill or any of that. But folks, there was no Fresh and Fit. There was no so-called no black manosphere. There was only the manosphere, and it was on a couple different forums back in the day. If you're familiar with Rouge V, this was like 2012, right? 2011, 2012. It was very, very different. It was a space where men can, you reach out to other men. Hey, I have a question about style or travel or women, just to get some experience, gain some knowledge from those who had more experience than you did. And it was actually a really cool spot. It wasn't no bashing or nothing like that. Females, it was like, nah, this is what they do. And like, okay, well, you have to learn to play the game. Now, people may say, well, I don't like the word game. Well, you know what? Life is a game. And let me break it down a very, very different way that most people understand it. So in sports, right? Every team is trying to win the championship. Like, hey, you know what? This year we trying to win, or whatever that team's goal is. They come up with, well, first they must understand the rules of the game so they can actually develop a strategy to play the game and win. If you don't know the rules of the game, there's no way you can ever win. Just like in football, right? When we play football, hey, offsides, there's a consequence for that. Encroachment, pass interference, those are part of the rules of the game. We all know how to score, great. But if you don't know the rules, how are you going to develop a strategy to win the game? And then what if you're taught the wrong rules? This is where a lot of men, I don't think they know that they've actually been taught the wrong rules, and then if you're taught the wrong rules and you develop a strategy based on those wrong rules, you're already lost from the beginning. There's no way you can win. And when you hear that, oh, hey, if someone brings the right set of rules to you, that old school saying, it's easier to trick a man versus to convince him he's been tricked. You're like, oh, someone got over on me, and that's hard to take in, right? So if that's hard to take in, but someone's actually trying to say, hey, young man, let me show you what it really is. Let me show you how you can actually move. Let me show you how you can get better. Develop yourself first. The money isn't for the women. The money is for you. If you live in the United States, money is security. It'll allow you to do things that others can't do. You can help people, those in your family, but it's not, oh, use the money to try to get the women. Better yourself. Read. Set some goals. Most men, you ask them, what are their goals? Hey, where do you see yourself in 5-10 years? And do you have a plan on how to get that strategy? No, but your football team, right? The coach has you understand that if they want to win, they have their strategy for winning the games. Every game that they play, they watch film on whoever their opponent is, right? Yeah. Why don't you have a strategy for your life? And a strategy for a subpart of that, right? A subset of that, which is the dating market. There's also a strategy that you need to develop. You need to understand those rules and develop a strategy to win there. If you don't have that, you're done. Honestly, you're going to lose.
Facts, absolute facts, man. That's I gotta give you a horn blast on that for both of y'all, man. That's facts. We got brother Cribby M in the house. He's like, facts, Viking. Yes, and welcome, brother. I'm glad you're here. Listen. I'm new to this manosphere world. I didn't know about all this stuff, man. Back when it was popping off, when it was new, I was working hard. I was in the trenches. I was out there messing up. That's when I was actually, too bad I didn't know. I was out there. I lost my way for a minute and I got smited for it. Not a problem. And that's one of the things I tell these brothers. You have to be accountable for your actions. There's so many men today here in America want to blame somebody else. It's that fault. It's the government's fault. It's that person's fault. It's her fault. It's this and that. Bro, you got yourself into it. It's your fault. Get yourself out. Deal with it. That's the biggest thing that I push when I talk to these young guys and these old dudes. This dude's my age that don't know this stuff. Like, how did you get to be 50 years old and not know this stuff? Well, he didn't try to bring himself out the basement until he was in his mid-40s. So, man, it is what it is. Brother Jay Swans said, we're pretty 50-50 when and where I'm weak, she steps up and takes the lead, and vice versa. We both have the same goal in mind, and that's to love, honor, and respect each other. We put the we above the me, and that's what's up, and that's why I work, bro, and that's why y'all are rare. Like I said, man, In my world, in my bubbles, I know one. I know one couple that stood the test of time. Their relationship worked, and that's y'all, bro. And right there, he says it right there. You know, like they put each other, they put the relationship first. They love and honor and respect one another. Right? You don't get that today. If you choose the wrong woman, you're going to get wrecked. Ladies, if you choose the wrong man, you're going to get wrecked. It just is what it is. So
you got to bet on somebody that's on your team, right? We were just talking about teamwork. That's the thing, and having a strategy. Part of that strategy is we're better together than we are apart. My girl compliments me, right? And the thing is yeah, women can lead. If you got a good woman, she will lead when you have a moment of weakness. But the thing is that she knows damn well that you're not going to go down like a bitch. And that's the difference. A lot of these guys, when things get hard, they'll lay in the dirt and cry. You're going to get yourself up, dust yourself off, and she might help you up. But the thing is like I said, the 50-50 part comes into you strategizing. You're both at the table strategizing on how to make this stuff work. But at the end of the day, you're the leader. And that's the thing. That was the thing I was failing on before, is I didn't understand that I was a leader. I was always trying to have her have 50-50 responsibility for the decision making, right? And that was just stressing her out. And I didn't realize it. I didn't know that by putting all this extra responsibility on her, that it didn't bother me. So I didn't understand that I was offloading onto her. So that's why Jay Swan's relationship works, where other guys will fail in that same exact situation, because he's a leader. He's a man. He's done real things in real life that are dangerous and survived it. So he gets the due respect from his woman because she's seen it firsthand, just like my girl's seen it with me, seen me fight house fires and shit like that at 2:30 in the morning so we could get out safely and stuff, right? So she knows deep down inside that when shit hits the fan, I'm not going to fall in the dirt like a bitch.
That's what's up, man. So let's go around the hall. We'll go around the horn real quick and just kind of wrap this up, because it's normally I don't go on this early anymore, but I had to. I saw that video. I'm like, bro, I got to talk about this right now. I couldn't even do it short. Like I can't even do like an 8-minute. I got to sit down and talk about this. So we'll start with you, brother Tobias. Let's go around the horn, man. Let's tighten this up into a nice bow. What would you tell? First of all, what would you tell millennials and Gen Z guys who are walking away, and then what would you tell overall to all men on this topic?
For millennials and Gen Z men that are walking away, the first thing I would say is there's two things, right? Get your money up, right? Because money, your finances are extremely important. You live in the United States, your money is security. Get that up. It'll allow you to move in ways that others cannot. And then you have to find some men that think that can provide you with knowledge and information that works for you, right? That you see like, oh, hey, that sounds good, but you must use your discernment, because just because someone says something that sounds good, it may not be correct for you. So get around, try to find men that are smart, that have had, some wins and some losses. And we don't call them losses, we call them lessons, right? What did you learn? Hey, this happened. I failed, but this is what I learned from it, because that is when you grow the most, right? That are from your failures. Just like if you take that math test, you got 6 out of 10, you got the first 6 right, but those other 4, you had to work on to get better and take that retest, and then you take it. Now you didn't got, 9 out of 10. Much better. You got to get around some men who can school you on how to move in the world. Again, it's not just dating, it's life. And another thing, set some goals, right? Learn how to set some goals. If you don't have them, like visualize where you want to be in the future. And I could go whole on to this, but hey.
I like that. That's cool. That's a great start.
Get your money up. Yeah, get your money up. Get around some men that have your best interest at hand, that have been through the fire, right? And set some goals.
And that's what's up. And brother Tobias, tell everybody where they can find you.
Oh man, you can find me anywhere on either YouTube or on Instagram, pretty much. More YouTube though, at Tobias the Traveler. Or if you got questions, you can send me an email at tobias@tobiasthetraveler.com.
That's what's up, man. I appreciate you coming through, man. Always a pleasure. You're always welcome here, man. And I promise I'll catch up with you more over there. I'll be looking, and I'm like, I just be always just missing you, bro. So I'll definitely look forward to working with you, man. Thanks again for coming up.
Hey, appreciate it. Yeah, y'all have a good one, and take it easy, Viking Paradigm. Nice seeing you, man.
Peace. So, brother Viking, man, same to you, man. What would be your words of advice to the Gen Z guys, to millennial guys, and then overall to all men? Well, what would you say?
Well, it's basically what Brother Tobias said, is you got to have a life plan. And see, one of the things that really struck me when I was in MLD's mastermind group, one of the older gentlemen in there, Wraith, he talked about life planning and stuff like that and setting goals. The thing is, a lot of guys think they have goals, but all they have is dreams. If you don't have a plan, right? If you haven't decided what your dream goal is, right? That's what I want, right? And then figure out the steps, reverse engineer the steps you will need to take to reach that goal, and then start taking steps and don't stop until you reach that goal, right? That's what you do to come up with a plan. You have to put this to paper though, and actually develop a framework, not a complete strategy, right? This isn't a player's guide that'll tell you step by step how to do it. Right? What you do is you analyze each step before you take it and keep going down that path, right? And when you have analyzed it, you know what's ahead. You scout it ahead. You know what the mission is. You can achieve it. You know where it's at. But a lot of guys don't want to take the time to develop their life, get their health on point. They don't understand. Like, a lot of guys talk about mental health and stuff like that, especially in the Twitch space. The thing is, most of them are overweight and obese. And that's why they're mentally unhealthy, is because they are physically unhealthy, which your brain is part of your body. So if you're physically unhealthy, you will be mentally unhealthy no matter what. Anybody that says otherwise is science denying. So get your health on point so you can think right. When you can think right, you can come up with a strategy and a plan to get what you want. And then you will also be clear, focused, and mentally determined to achieve that goal. And you know what each step is you need to take. And if something comes and it hits you on the side, knocks you down, you get back up, maybe readjust the plan, go over it real quick, and okay, plan still works, go with it. That's what I would tell guys to do. You need to develop a strategy for your life to benefit you, enlightened self-interest, because you can't benefit a woman. You can't be a good partner to a woman until you're a whole person first. Same thing for any woman out there too. If you can't be a whole person on your own before you get in a relationship, 2 half people don't make a whole person. 2 whole people make a good relationship. And I'll end it there.
Bro, fire. As a matter of fact, you went so hard, man. We got to go the other way with it, bro.
It'll be like this.
We got to go the other way with it, man, because you went so hard. I really appreciate that. So, you summed it up right there, bro. Where can people find you?
Viking Paradigm on YouTube. Don't have anything major going on right now, but I'm building up, right? Next thing for me is I'm going to be getting my crooked ass teeth fixed finally. I'm working on setting up logistics for that. And once I get that all done, I'm going to be hitting content pretty ham in the next few months here. Obviously, I got to get healed up from that, but I will be putting out content on this channel. I've had a lot of people encourage me. And I can't remember who, somebody in Fresh's group was talking about. People will often tell you what you're good at, right? And I didn't want to do content, but people have been encouraging me that I need to speak on this stuff more. So I will be doing that. Viking Paradigm at YouTube. Same name, pretty much everywhere.
What's on, bro? When you start doing that, hit me up. I'll be there. I got your back, bro. I got your 6, man. I got your 6. One more time for Viking Paradigm. I appreciate you, bro. I'm going to holler at you a little bit later, man. I'm going to close this out. I'll see you in a second. Peace. So there you have it right there, man. There's not much else for me to say about all that. I think those 2 brothers kind of summed it up for me. Ladies, this is a problem. Ladies, you're going to have to look at yourself too. Men and women both have to work together to solve this problem. Ladies, y'all don't want to grow old and die alone. And men are cool. These young guys don't seem to care. So I think ladies, y'all need to get together. And this is going to probably be the first time that Western women actually has to really do some work and try to figure some things out. I suggest y'all do it. This young lady, this sister Alex, in the video she put up there, was, if that's any indication of what's to come, we'll probably see more videos like that. And women are going to step it up. So that's what's up, guys. Y'all know y'all need to step it up. Get out of the damn basement. Get out of the basement. Figure it out. Go to Brother Tobias's channel. Learn how to travel. You know what I mean? Listen to Brother Viking Paradigm. Y'all hear his passion. Y'all know what it is. Y'all know what needs to be done. Just go ahead and do it like he said. It's not just about setting goals and dreaming about having a nice stuff. You got to actually put it into motion and do the work. Brother Jay Swans. Find what you want in life. Surround yourself with people that have what you want. Then shut up and listen. to what they have to say. Facts. Brother Dino Dinosaur, Brother DL's today's Gen Z are designing sex box that will fly to your house and take away movie and build-in payment devices. Bro, yeah, man, it looks that way. And Brother Doug, thank you for dropping Brother Vikings link and information in the chat. So we're done. That's all I wanted to talk about, man. I appreciate each and every one of y'all. I'll be back at 6 o'clock Eastern Standard Time right here. I'm going to be talking some politics, man. We'll be back with the Downrange podcast. We're going to be talking a little bit of finance of what's going on with First Republic Bank, how that's going to affect the markets, and how that's in turn is going to affect the political climate that we're already in. Also, we're going to be talking a little bit about the debt ceiling. So come back tonight at 6 o'clock Eastern Standard Time right here if you want to hear that conversation. And as always, man, I appreciate each and every one of you. I'm DL Saint. This is the DL Saint I Really Want to Know podcast. I'm going to holler at y'all later. Peace.
Darn, that's the end.